So you need this. Okay. So Alon, thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
You will use some slides to support your conversation with me. I would like to ask you, first of all, to give us a perspective of what Highlander does.
Okay, so very briefly, the main target of Highlander is actually to provide full airspace management. At the beginning, when we started, we really thought that the only way to change the way that we are managing and controlling the airspace is actually to remove the human factor from the game. And by using core technology that's able to manage the airspace like real air traffic controller, we provide solutions that know how to manage this airspace for UAVs, drones in real time. Then we grow up and we provide UTM solution, unmanned traffic management solution, to help the manned and unmanned aviation to live together. I think most of the videos that you are going to see is actually focused on this in this area. So the approach of bottom up to come with drone fleet management solution and to grow to manage full airspace for multi-companies, multi-operators, this is the main target of the company.
Okay, so you can go on with the slides, I think, and you can start describing to us your kind of technology that you are developing.
Okay, we have sound in the presentation?
I think so.
Let's see.
Okay, I don't know if we were prepared for that, so maybe you can go through the video and describe to us what we are seeing.
In our point of view, you know, all of us talking about autonomous drone that flying, helping in agriculture, helping with public safety, first responders, also helping for facilities inspection, and all of them talking about autonomous drone that helping in our life, helping us to do all the mission without the human factor from the game. Also companies like Amazon, UPS, and DHL that providing solution for delivery, and companies that we saw here. But in our point of view, this is actually the future, because in 90% of the situation, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see a pilot that flying with remote controller, flying the drone, hopefully that is professional. But in our point of view, the drones are not smart enough. You need somehow to empower the platform, and this is exactly what Highlander are doing. First of all, to solve human problem, just remove the human factor from the game. The second thing is how you are managing crowded sky. It's not only one drone that's flying. We are talking about multi-drones that need to fly the same airspace. Our customers using in specific site different types of drone. We saw tethered drones and also drones that doing delivery, but at the same time doing surveillance. Highlander know how to be drone agnostic, to integrate with any platform in the market. Actually, now we are covering around 95% of the market. And I think this is the big uniqueness of Highlander, is a software-only solution.
So how do you see this kind of technology merging inside, for example, the mission that we saw before during the live demonstration, and how it can be useful to integrate the future drone flights with the, for example, the commercial aviation?
So first of all, what we saw before is different companies that need to fly the same airspace. We saw airplanes landing very close to here. So somehow you need to manage the airspace. You need to separate. You need to provide full airspace assessment, full airspace awareness, sorry, for the air traffic controllers that operating very close to here. I think the target of Highlander, by being drone agnostic or able to communicate with any platform, is actually the answer, how you can be an enabler in this market, how you can actually change the way that we are flying today manually with a pilot in line of sight, and bring them to fly beyond visual line of sight, to fly in urban areas, and to fly very close to airports. Because at the end, most of the airspace at the moment belong to the manned aviation, and we need somehow to provide solution that able to separate Part of the solution that you will see in a minute is actually deconfliction in real time, the ability to manage the manned and unmanned aviation that trying to fly together.
Yes, I would like to actually ask you to maybe show us, the interface of this kind of solution, and maybe we can understand a little bit better how it works.
Great. So I'm just clicking. I want to give you, let's run on this one. Okay. I think the Indy project that I talked before is talking exactly on the maturity progress that we are doing during this project. We are talking about thousands of flights that we are flying, more and more companies that are joining this process. Next year, we are going to fly air mobility part of this project. So we are going to land in the main international airport in Israel. And for that, you need the UTM. This is an example, very short, of what we are doing, and after that we will see the product. But as you can see here, it's an example how we are flying not in the suburb. We are flying in urban areas. It's very tough to do that. Different types of platforms that doing different types of missions, starting from fast food delivery to medical delivery. And this is exactly the maturity that we are looking for. You can see an example of command center that we are building in Israel. We actually have few command center that managing different areas. We called it under the USSP, under the UTM. We have another layer that called USpace. USpace is actually an area like a city that managing all the traffic that flying in this area. And to start from the beginning, just running. This is the first behind visual line of sight that we actually made. You can see an example of different drones. On the right side, you can see different companies that actually sharing data between themselves. So not all of them flying with Islander Drone Fleet Management, but they are under the UTM solution. You can see the first time that we actually flew in Israel 2 years ago around the city, crossing main roads. And all the time we are trying to following the regulation and the rules. And all the time that we are entering to the urban area, the rules are becoming more and more tough, and we need to be able to provide solutions that creating not only safety, but also efficiency to fly in this area.
Yes, I would like to stay on the Indy program, because as I understood, it was a very important program of experimentation. So many flights in different conditions. So I would like to ask you, to give us your take regarding what was this experience, maybe giving us some numbers of the number of demonstration, the kind of demonstration, and linking that to the Bari Urban Drone Range, what we are planning here, and maybe a couple of suggestions based on your experience for the development path that we are going through here.
Okay, so about the Indy project, this project that started 2 years ago, at the beginning of 2021. We started 10 companies. Part of them are operators, part of them are UTM solutions. And the main target is to actually fly as much as we can, to fly and to be more and more mature. Every 3 months, we actually flew for 2 weeks, around 3,000 flights in these 2 weeks. And from 2023, we are going to fly every month, daily based, thousands of flights. I think the main or the big advantage that came from this event, this project, is actually the first time to fly with different companies, with the whole ecosystem. When you're flying alone in your testing field, everything working okay. It's not a problem. When you need to communicate with different platforms to see how the market is really work, also to provide a real solution for real needs that you have, it's totally different. You probably going to find that the product need more testing, need more capabilities. We change a lot the way that we are communicate from 4G to 5G communication. We learn a lot about the distance and the altitude that we can fly. We talked about the remote identification and the rules. Everything is something that become more and more mature, and we accelerate the process when we flew in urban areas and in real environment. I think this is exactly what's interesting here. The collaboration that we are looking for with DTA is exactly at this area. When we found that Bari and this area looking to bring technology to the real environment, I think this is the best opportunity for drones company. It doesn't matter if it's a UTM, if it's a drone operator, this is the real life. So companies can learn a lot from this environment.
So I wanted to come back to, you said thousands of drone operation, drone flights. So this can be, linked to the theme of authorization process. So as we organized, the live demonstration, we had a very long process of authorization based, of the calculation of risks. So how did you manage to authorize so fast, so quickly, this kind of mission, this number of mission? So let help us to go through that.
Okay, so if we are coming or going back to 2021, I remember the first meeting with the CAAI. This is the authority of aviation in Israel. And we sat in the meeting, startup company with the regulator, and he told us, okay, this is what you want to do. Let's have another meeting in 8 or 9 months from now and discuss it. And we thought to ourselves, we're a startup, we're not going to live so long. And then you are trying to build a relationship with the regulator, a trust relationship that he actually understands that you know what you are doing. Okay, you are bringing all the risk, taking all or managing the risk that can be when you are flying in urban area. And then the regulator is starting to trust you. And from this point, I think today in Israel, to do flights in urban areas, we're getting approval in less than 24 hours. And I'm talking about fleet of drones that flying in area like Tel Aviv. It's a fast process. Of course, they need to know the platform. They need to have all the information. They need to make sure that the software can protect or be able to manage in any case that's happening. And the regulator need to run with you.
Yes, I totally agree with this. Also because this kind of event, like Drones Beyond, is a very important moment for us here to create this community and to have civil aviation authority, service providers, operators, maybe also final customers to go together and solve this kind of problem that are the main barriers to the acceptance and to the implementation of this kind of solution. So my final question to you is, what is your vision regarding your technology, and what are the next step that you want to follow to implement this new ecosystem?
So I think if we're looking to the future, the next step as an enabler in this airspace is the integration with the ATM or the air traffic management airspace. This is definitely the next step for us. This is what we are doing in Israel and in other countries. The ability to take the UTM to be part of the air traffic controller services is definitely the way to penetrate the airspace. You still need a solution that's able to intervene if something happens, to be able to monitor and tracking in real time. But we found that the air traffic controller giving more trust to this ecosystem when they actually know how to track and understand what you are doing. So I think this is definitely